Hello everyone, David here. With this video we start a new series called Fix My Mix by popular demand, and also because I want to give the chance to everyone to see what they get with this subscription to the channel, which not only gives you access to the already big and always growing library of in-depth professional mix and mastering courses, tutorials and videos, but also mix consultations with me. So with this series everyone can get a general idea of how those mix consultations work, what to expect. Of course, these are going to be a quick and easy version of them. I'm not going to go into that much detail as I do for real consultation, but I hope it's still going to be helpful and fun. I'm going to listen to your mixes. These are all mixes sent from subscribers. Analyze them, see what's wrong, what can be fixed, what can be improved, either in mix or mastering. So let's get to the first ones. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixPass TV. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, of course, check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy. Free plugins, special discounts and offers, new every month. And if you want to support the channel, but most important, access to the exclusive content, click the join button down here, see all the perks of becoming a MixPass TV member. This video is also about that. So let's get to it. And here we are with another episode of Fix My Mix. In this series, I listen to your mixes, guys, and tear them apart. I'm kidding, I'm just trying to help, give you my feedback. So let's get into the next one. It's called Panicked, Bad Blood. All right, the intro is already a lot of problems, okay? First thing, the vocals is way too loud. You can't understand anything the singer is saying. So just that alone makes everything else relative, because yeah, this is like the vocals is like 7 dB too low than it should be, even if we consider it's a radio-y vocal. It's supposed to be a little louder and far back. Putting the volume 10 dB lower is not the way to do it. Then there's this stop and go, which ends with this beginning of kick or 808, which is weird. It sounds like a bad cut. It does not, I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's a mistake. It sounds like a mistake. So here you either put a sine wave and go and make it a fade out, because this makes very little sense. It's like, what happened? You know, a cable disconnected or something? That's not the way to do it.
Won't you walk this path with me? Take the bad blood out my veins. Tell me what you think. Who'd you rather be with? Nights get harder, I can't fight them. Sipping wine lately won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home.
Let's stop here. Your low end, it does not translate. I mean, if you guys at home have either a sub or headphones that go really low, you can probably hear it. Otherwise you won't. It does not just not translate on my JBLs, it does not translate on my gens, which they should. And everything vibrates when I put my mains on. And that's not good, because basically you rely on someone having, you know, $30,000 speakers to listen to your music when it's not happening. And the problem is it doesn't translate. You don't have the punch. That kick / 808 should have more body. So let me see.
Won't you walk this path with me?
So you have a fundamental that is a 35, which is okay. You can have it. You should have both though. You should have the low fundamental for when your mix is played, you know, in a big club or big system with a sub. But then you should also think about translating on other speakers. And that in that case, you should have another fundamental, an octave higher. So let's say 35. It should be about 70 and then 140, something like this. Okay, so let's see what every one of these does. Let's see where we are with this.
Won't you walk this path with?
That's still too low to translate. Let's try 140.
Won't you walk this path with me? Take the.
Let's wait for the kick drum because that is just the 808 and it won't translate because it doesn't have the punch, which is also a problem. Your 808.
Who'd you rather be?
I can't hear it.
Take the bad blood out my veins. Tell me what you think.
I can barely hear it on the gents, but what you need to do with an 808 this deep is just, if you don't want to do it in insert, you want to add a parallel channel saturation or a multiband saturator. Let me try this, like the dirty way to do it. It's not something we should do on the master, of course. Although if I had to master it, I had ways to do it, but it requires me to turn on my hardware, which I'm not going to do now for the video.
Walk this path with me. Take the bad blood out my veins. Tell me what you think.
Can't catch it, can barely catch it. That's the problem. Let me try with like max bass then. Because a lot of people think max bass is like low air and it's not. Max bass creates higher harmonic from the lowest fundamental, which is what we would need here. Low air and the sub-synth plugins create a fake sub-synth. They generate a lower octave. Two completely different kind of effects. So let's try to catch that 808.
Walk this path with me. Take the bad blood out my veins. Tell me what you think.
That would be better, not to do on the master, but you can do something like this.
Walk this path with me. Take the bad blood out my veins. Tell me what you think.
Still not even close, but yeah, your 808 should have a tone and the octave higher, especially when it's alone. Otherwise, you know, unless you have a gigantic system, you're not gonna hear it. Let's keep going.
You think, who'd you rather be with? Nights get harder, I can't fight them. Sipping wine lately won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home. Bordeaux, Chateau.
The kick drum does have a good punch, not good enough. I would want it more punchy. But the problem is that if you do have a system with a sub, that really deep low end is too much. If I was to master this, I would have to reshape the low end with my SPL EQ, maybe even going hardcore with a filter at 30. Because remember, a filter is not a guillotine. It's, if I turn, this is the master I did last time. I had the same problem with the track that I mastered last. And this filter is at 30, which a filter at 30, it's not this, like most people think. It's not this, it's a slope, okay? And a slope, it can be 18, you know, so. I'm not cutting the head off 30 and below, I'm just reducing the level. And when it's this powerful, this much, even a cut like a 18 like this, which is a lot for mastering, wouldn't even cut it. I would have to probably use a shelf or go a little higher with the corner frequency. So long story short, you have a lot of low end information.
Who'd you rather be with?
You know, look at this. This is, we are talking about 10 hertz here, right? Now, these, I hear everything. I hear those 10 hertz and oh, you can't hear past 20. No, you can't hear it, but you can't feel it. If you could put a hand on my desk, that's one way I gauge my low end. If it's the same level, you know, this is my preset level, my desk is vibrating like there's an earthquake going on, you got too much deep low end, okay? The kick has enough punch.
Nights get harder, I can't fight them. Sipping wine lately won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home. Bordeaux. Nights get harder. fight them. Sipping wine lately, won't cut it. Nights get harder, I can't fight them. Sipping wine lately, won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home.
Okay, we have this usual problem, nothing moves, everything is at the same level. If you don't know how to do automation, because that's an advanced mixing technique and is also taste, so I can't teach you that. The guitars, you can sidechain the guitars with the vocals and they move automatically. It's better than having them static.
Sipping wine lately, won't cut it.
The snare is weak. You have this big kick and low end and 808, and the snare doesn't punch enough. This is a slow ballad kind of track, but still you want the snare to come up a little more than that. Let me try again, just here.
Sipping wine lately, won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home. Sipping wine lately, won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home.
Okay, not something you do on the two-bus or on the master, but you get the point. A little more snap on that snare. And a little more body too, because you have this big round 808 and kick that are very dark. You want to add a little body to that snare because it's like so tiny.
Could last so long. I'm going home. Bordeaux, chateau, memories of you under my tattoos. French bitch wants a French kid.
Of course, the big elephant in the room here is the vocal. You got no vocal production. There's one vocal track, lonely there. There's no ad-libs, no doubles, nothing. Not even a doubling effect. It just sits there alone. And that's not how modern production are done. You also have this reverb, which doesn't match the track. It's too washy. It's not like, for hip hop, you don't really, it's not true that you don't want a reverb that is like actually reverb. You do, depending on the track, but depends a lot on the kind of reverb. This is just, I don't know. First of all, I like to sidechain the reverbs for hip hop, which is not necessarily the way everybody does it. So you tuck in the reverb when the singer sings and then the tail comes up. Actually, in hip hop, it's better if you do the opposite. If you use a short reverb, maybe, with a very well tuned ER, as in early reflections. So it gives a little more space and depth, like 3D, and also a little bit of width. And then you open a gate when the vocal sings, and then it closes when the vocal stops. This keeps the dry feeling for hip hop vocals without them being dry. Okay, it's all a matter of how you tailor the release of the gate, but that's something you could do. For the most part, what you miss here is complete lack of vocal production, which again is something that people hired me to do, just that. Even if they don't have enough budget to make me mix their track, they send me something like this, and then they ask me like, hey, arrange my vocals, produce my vocals. Like, what do I have to record? What words? Where? How many? Is this going to be stereo? You need 2 performances, 4 performances, 8 performances. This is
Bordeaux, chateau.
And the EQ of it, there's this resonance here.
Bordeaux, chateau. Memories of you under my tattoo.
Which is on the entire mix, but mostly is the vocal. It makes it like so stuffy. Even just cleaning that up.
Bordeaux, chateau. Memories of you under my tattoos. French bitch wants a French kiss. When I'm popping balls.
You don't even need to brighten it up when you clean that range.
My tattoos. French bitch wants a French kiss. When I'm popping balls, smells like fresh fields.
Actually, the entire mix benefit from this move. You see what I did here, just to check and make it obvious for you guys. You click the A, which enables the auto compensation when you cut, so you don't feel you're missing something. The level overall auto compensate for my extreme cut here, 6 dB, but it's not even that stretch because it sounds better. This is what I call the V. Find your V. When I master a track and something like this happens, could be in this range, could be the high mid range, some range because of all the instrument, whatever the reason is. When you find the V, you hear the mix either opening up or losing the harshness, or the low end becoming more clear and defined, or if you do it like in the really low end, again, cleaning up and gaining so much more headroom, and it breathes better, especially in small speakers, because this is now mastered. All right, you can see it's pretty dynamic. If you go master something like this with that much sub energy, it's gonna sound like someone is choking you when you're hearing the track because of that. Of course, a good mastering engineer, I would cut it, and reshape the low end, like I said. But listen to the difference. Just this one cut.
Bar smells like fresh fields. Leave me alone, I don't deserve this. Act like we're friends, Hollywood bullshit. Hollow chest, don't try to love this.
Everything comes alive. The vocals, the kick drum, everything. Just that one simple move, okay? This is probably a problem with monitoring.
Memories of you, I sip all the shadow. Won't you walk this?
Okay, I like stop and goes, like a lot, but you can't drop the zero like this. You need to make something happen, because it feels like the power went down. Okay, you're a mix engineer, you need this transition to, I don't know, put a reverse there, put like a filter, a delay, a stutter, whatever the hell it is, aware the listener that is gonna drop, because you already have a low tension moment with this guitar, right? It's a low tension moment, and then you just drop. Thank God you have a reverb, because if there wasn't reverb, I would really check like my system, like, oh my God, like a fuse went out. So make something happen here before going in.
Won't you walk this path with me? Take the bad blood out my veins. Tell me what you think. Who'd you with? Nights get harder, I can't fight them. Sipping.
You also have this reverb in the mid channel a lot. I would want to use a reverb. I would want to use more delays than reverbs on something like that, like short delays into a reverb. But I will clean up the mid channel and leave the vocal a little drier, a little, not super dry. This is not a song that I would want a super dry vocal on, because it's moody. Okay, you need a little bit of ambience. But I would clean up the mid channel for the reverb a little bit, maybe EQ it. That's one place in which you can use mid-side EQ, which is not a go-to for freaking mastering like everybody seems to think, but this could be a way, like in your reverb return, you can EQ the mid channel or the return of the reverb, for example, to make a little more space and not have the reverb clash that much with the vocal. Also, I would put a longer pre-delay on this reverb.
Who would you rather be with? Nights get harder, I can't fight them. Sipping wine lately won't cut it. Never thought that I could last so long. I'm going home.
See, you have that metallic kind of sound on this reverb.
I'm going home.
Meh.
I'm going home.
Dude, the difference between the smaller monitors and the main, it's gigantic. And it shouldn't be that way. Of course, my main monitors go down to hell, but the level shouldn't be that overwhelming of a difference. Never is when, you know, I mix. You need to find a balance, because I know it's exciting to have that low end that big, but this is also a problem of dynamics. So the vocals is not dynamically controlled, and you get away with it because you sing low-ish in the same range like monotone, and you get away with it, and because you have so much reverb on it. But anyone who does, you know, is a little bit into this can tell, like, okay, this vocal is not, like, you need more compression, you need to be more steady, more dynamically controlled, more dense. The low end information should come up a little bit. It's good because you don't have like harshness and stuff, and that's usually the case. but you also didn't enhance the vocal in any way. There's no throw delays, no throw effects, there's no nothing on it. There's no ad libs, so yeah. It's a little bit basic, but that low end concerns me, because if you didn't hear it, and of course you didn't hear it, you have a fundamental of 35. That's just too much, you know, compared to the rest. And the entire mix needs more density, all of it, which is a process that takes place both in single tracks and groups, but mostly in this case on the 2-bus, which would be one of the situations I would crank my vintage drive on the SSL and probably run both transformers and THD on my 2-bus, West Audio, and who knows what else. I will probably throw a lot of things at it, but yeah, I mean, let me try like the stupid dirty trick here.
So long.
It's just the slow end, it's just overwhelming. I can't listen to it.
So long, I'm going home.
I can literally push this all the way and still would need more, you know?
So long, I'm going home.
Yeah, I would drive basically all the transformers that I have if I was to master this. Well, I would fix the mix first, but you get my feeling. So I think this is it for this video. Again, I have to pick these mixes apart to help you guys. I hope this video was useful. I hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and share. Check all the links in the info box down below. Follow my artist Bella Kelly. We are about to release the next single video. It's gonna be a freaking bomb. If you want to support the channel other than becoming a member, we have merch. We have like t-shirts and mugs and stuff. I never say that, but if you want to become a member, click the join button down here. If you don't see the button, I'm gonna put a link, direct link in the info box down below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe and see you next time.